Wow, love that microphone. That's my kind of style. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Southside Wellness Coalition meeting. You should have received the copy of the agenda in email. I'm also going to share it on the screen now. Get a chance to see today. We are gathered here, and those in person have a hard copy of this as well. We're gathering here today in person as well as on Zoom for a hybrid meeting. You see here today, we have planned Stephen Wilson, member of our leadership team, to speak today. And then we have a number of different coalition business items as we're moving into the final 3 months of the year to talk about our plans. And of course, as always, I have added additional items just in the last 24 hours to this business meeting list, just to give you some more updates about what's been happening and some changes. Believe it or not, there was a new announcement yesterday about how Revive training is being received here locally. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and start with introductions, and I'll start within the room first and then move on to the Zoom, and I'm just going to call names out based on where I see them on the screen. If you wouldn't mind telling us your name and where you're from, if you'd like, your role in the community, if you're in Halifax, Mecklenburg, or Brunswick, whatever you'd like to share. This always is an open meeting, open forum to anyone in the community. So my name is Keenan Tyner-Smith. I'm the prevention manager here at Southside Behavioral Health. My job entails community outreach and community training. So I teach a number of different prevention trainings in the community. For suicide prevention, as well as the Revive opioid overdose and naloxone training for Virginia, as well as ACEs training, the Adverse Childhood Experience Interface curriculum, along with a number of other folks in the community, as well as people here that work for our agency. We teach, again, these number of different prevention trainings to help people increase their protective factors. Probably the best part of my job is I'm also the physical agent for the Southside Wellness Coalition, which I'm gonna let you know up front is absolutely 100% all volunteer-based run organization. All I really do is do some of their secretarial work and manage their funding. So with that being said, I'll let Stephen go first. He's a member of our leadership team. Stephen.
Hi, Stephen Wilson. As Keenan said, I'm a member of the leadership team. I am representing myself as a member of our local recovery community, and I've been with the coalition, I guess about 4 years now. Thanks.
All right, and Tiffany's here in person?
Yes. Do I look at the owl? Like, I don't know where to
The
look.
owl should look at you when you
Okay.
start talking.
Okay. Well, good morning. I am Tiffany Leaf. I'm actually a treatment placement specialist with Acadia Healthcare now. So I used to be with Safe Harbor, but I am a local resident of Halifax County. And I've been a member of the coalition, I guess, since its inception. So when it started very, excuse me, small back in the day until now. I know I had a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm back. So glad to be here in person this morning.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, so I'll go to the screen. Mr. Morgan.
He's talking.
Oh, his video is not good. I don't hear him. Hang on, let me go get James. Y'all hang tight. I'm with my IT guy now. Hold on. Okay.
Sorry, we
Yeah, we
can't
can't
hear
hear
you,
you.
and we think it's on our end.
Yeah, because you're unmuted there, so it's probably on our.
Hey, Keenan. Can you hear me?
Hey, Brenna.
Hey, I was gonna say, we can't hear him on Zoom either, so I don't think it's on your end.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Let me see if I can catch Keenan.
so it's something on your end there. How are you, Brennan?
Good, how are you?
Where are you at now?
I'm at the health department.
Okay, okay. I seen your name pop up. I was like, oh, I know her.
Just hopping around, you know.
James can get it though.
Yeah, we can hear. Brenna, so I think it's his audio.
Okay, hang on. Let's see if I can figure it out. All right, James, you see any issue with Mr. Morgan's microphone?
Just so I can check and not feel
Okay.
bad, come down here and click on your sound button.
Okay,
Just click anywhere in that sound box.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Mr. Morgan, we think it might be on your end that we can't hear from your microphone. We were checking to make sure it wasn't here. Do you want to log back in and then James, you can watch when he comes back into the meeting to see if it rolls up his audio?
Sure.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna put him back in the weight room and then bring him back in. How about that? Let's try that. There we go. Okay, hang on. All right, y'all hang tight for just a second. God love technology. Right, there we go. He's coming back in. All right, connecting audio. It says connected audio. Mr. Morgan, can you hear us? Or can we, oh, you probably hear us, but I can't hear you. All right, over here. Hold on.
I don't know that you're gonna be able to fix that on our end.
I know, it says his audio is on. All right, you have any suggestions? I'll come back to him after,
I
we'll see.
think it's us.
Okay, all right. Mr. Morgan, can you put some information in the chat and then we'll go ahead and round robin back and I'll read out the chat box if you don't mind, sir. Thank you, thank you. I'm so sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There we
Yes.
go. The IT guy is always good luck, right? Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
All right, we got you, we got you. All right, sorry, all right.
My name is Elmus Morgan, and I'm actually with the Brunswick County Public School System. I serve as the school community liaison and mentor for the division, and happy to be in the meeting with you today.
All right, welcome, welcome. We can hear you loud and clear. Awesome.
Okay.
All right, then we're also joined by Christy Mosley.
Yes, hi, how are you today? Yep. I am Christy. I am with VCU, the CMH location, and just recently, I guess I've been working with the group for, several months now, and I manage our behavioral health psychiatry practice here in South Hill. So glad to be here.
Awesome. And Christy's also a member of our leadership team. All right, and then we're joined by Liam Hudson.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Liam Hudson. I'm with the Lean In Project. We are a nonprofit that help LGBTQIA folks access crisis resources and just other community support. And we're based in Halifax, Virginia. So thank you all for having me. Excited to be here.
Thank you. Brenna?
Good morning. My name is Brenna Link. I'm the Population Health Manager at the Department of Health. I'm virtual because I serve Hispania Danville, and I am usually based in Danville, but we also serve Southside, which is Halifax, Mecklenburg, and Brunswick counties. Like Keenan, I am a Revive trainer, ACEs trainer, and mental health first aid instructor. This is my first Southside Coalition meeting, although I was previously the coordinator for Pennsylvania and Danville's Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition. So happy to be here.
Awesome. So we can get with you to get ideas about what we can do moving forward.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And then finally, another member of our leadership team, Mary Crowder.
Good morning. I'm Mary Ann Crowder. I am a member of the Southside Wellness Coalition leadership team. I've kind of been not able to attend for a while, so I'm glad to be back. And I am also an ACEs presenter for Southside, and I live in Mecklenburg County.
Alrighty, thank you. And we'll keep an eye on the door as well as the Zoom link if anyone rolls in, but thank you all for joining us this morning. We have a number of different items to review. First thing, of course, to share with you is that we are celebrating that we have hopefully survived much of COVID. As you can see now, what we've decided to do as a membership and run by the leadership team to start having hybrid meetings so that we give people the opportunity where they want to come in person and enjoy a piece of cake and a cup of coffee, or want to do it from the comfort of their office, that we're going to provide this opportunity moving forward. So we'll continue to have our monthly meetings on Thursdays from 10 to 12 on an ongoing basis, and then certainly hope with the now that the numbers are down, we'll start sponsoring in-person events, coming together and being a part of community events, putting our table and our tent out there and more noticeable locations as we move into 2023. Just to remind you, that's our website. If you don't already receive our monthly newsletter that shares information about what is happening. And I got somebody coming in from the waiting room, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right. Our vision, the Southside Wellness Coalition, is committed to a safe, secure, healthy, prosperous, and drug-free community in the Virginia counties of Brunswick, Halifax, and Mecklenburg. The mission, collaborating with local resources and partnerships to foster wellness in a drug-free community for our youth, adults, and families in the counties of Brunswick, Halifax, and Mecklenburg. So I want to put up on the screen for you, of course, is our website. We would like in 2023 to have more information posted on the website from our members about what they're currently doing. Along with this website, bewellsouthside.org, we also have a Facebook and an Instagram. And we also currently link up with Southside Behavioral Health, and they have a TikTok. One of the grants that we were a part of, and it's in the year 2 of that grant, is the Virginia Foundation for Healthy Youth Tobacco Prevention Grant, which includes young folks from around our 3-county area to participate in a social media campaign where pictures of them are posted with nicotine prevention advertisements. And you all here, given that you're not in that age bracket, and neither am I, are only going to see them on TikTok if you happen to be in that age bracket. So you're not going to obviously see them if you have a TikTok. But if you go on to our Facebook and Instagram, you will find those images being shared on a regular basis. And I just want to emphasize to you that all the young folks in those ads are from either Halifax, Mecklenburg, or Brunswick, and they voluntarily participate, having their pictures taken and signed releases to participate in that grant. And it's in year 2. So I want to take a moment to brag about, if you haven't had an opportunity the last couple of months, as our leadership team has been meeting in person and talking about growth, this is one project that's been going on over the summer, continuing to go on social media, so that you can reach out if you haven't had the opportunity to look up and find on our website, as well as on our social media, called Southside Wellness Coalition, our Facebook and Instagram, the wonderful information there it is about the young folks that are advertising that you can be nicotine free, and of course the resources that get shared there as well. All right, so with that being said, I'm then going to turn it over to Stephen, who is our speaker today, and talk about a recent event that he attended.
Thank you, Keena. Stephen Wilson. I had the pleasure of attending Recover Fest in Covington, Virginia, September 17th, and I'll keep this short because I really don't I don't see that this is something that we're probably going to participate in the future, or in the near future attempt to do anything of the like. But what it did was basically gathered Katrina Broman originally contacted our behavioral health in the hopes that we would partner with them. This is a fundraiser essentially, and they choose each year who's going to receive that money. A couple of groups up in Nelson County who benefited this year. The biggest issue that they ran into with doing this was they made a mistake with their planning. They set it right on top of a harvest festival in the same town, And that greatly impacted any kind of attendance that they were going to get. Now, what they did have was good attendance from groups like ours. There were coalitions there. There were healthcare booths there. Everybody was bringing tents. They had some vendors there. They were making tie-dyed shirts for you right on the spot if you'd like to do it, or they had them pre-made for sale as well. All of this just to raise money. What they were looking for on a partnership level is not, it would be very one-sided in their favor. The money's going to stay up in the area. They're even talking next year about not doing it in Covington, but in the same area that their beneficiaries were in. We could set up a tent, but we're essentially 3 hours away. I don't see where there's going to be any name recognition or anything back and forth. They did have quite a few musical acts that got up and played, and unfortunately, they just didn't have much of an audience. But it is a good cause. As far as us doing something like that in the future during Recovery Month within our catchment area alone, I know that South Boston does an event. I'm not sure if there's anything like that in Brunswick, and we could maybe look at that, but I think considering that we're currently still trying to hire a prevention specialist, we'd be getting in over our head, and I'd certainly like to get through CATCA next year before, and to look at more ideas to see if there's some way that we can better spend our efforts. But it was enjoyable. It was nice to be up in the mountains, and it was beautiful up there. Met a lot of nice people, some who knew Keenan, and I think my overall take is, this is just, the partnership's probably out of the question, and for us to do something like that ourselves right now, we don't have the manpower at the time, and I'm sure there are other things that could better be addressed. Thanks.
All right, any questions from anyone? All right, thank you, Stephen. I see we're joined by Jennifer. Jennifer, you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Good morning. I'm Jennifer Fichtorn. I am with the Virginia Cooperative Extension, and I work on 2 grants in your area where we provide evidence-based prevention materials to school systems, specifically the Botman Life Skills Program. And we also offer help in teaching mental health first aid and youth mental health first aid.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so going back to the agenda, approval of minutes over the summer, we held a number of different in-person leadership team meetings as well as virtual meetings. As you know, members participated in National Night Out in August as part of the monthly meeting requirements. And then in September, the leadership team met with those who participated in the Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training at the Estes Center and held a meeting. And so moving forward, the leadership team decided that we would spend time in October talking about, with our hybrid meeting, introducing our hybrid forum, moving forward in the months in 2023, and also talking about some current developments, things that we could be involved in, what we can be doing in 2023. So again, we want to celebrate that we were rolling with a regular monthly membership in person prior to COVID of anywhere from 23 to 36 people a meeting. And then with COVID, of course, Keenan immediately, as long as a number of other leadership team members, learned how to operate the Zoom. And so we now know all the bells and whistles of that platform. So moving forward, we now have this wonderful little buddy here in front of me called the Owl. And of course, as you can see, he tracks movement in the room. Hopefully you guys can see above my head as we have our hybrid meetings, that it scans the room and narrows in on the person who's talking. In addition, hopefully with our big screen TV here, you guys can easily see me as well as Stephen and Tiffany. So we're trying again to make it the best possible avenue for you guys. With that being said, so the leadership team wanted me to share with you some of the developments that are going on with us that are positive. All things good and positive with us. but also opportunities. There are opportunities now moving into 2023 to decide what do we want to pick and choose. As Stephen so beautifully said a few minutes ago, we have manpower, but we don't have a tremendous amount of manpower, so we've really got to be able to select what we want to be involved in. One of the first things to mention is that we received funding to create a trauma-informed care network back early this year. We did conduct a sampling of meetings in the area that were both, that were in person, that were attended by a number of different folks. And then we were recognized by, and I'm holding up a copy of it, and I gave a copy to in person, but I apologize, I don't have it on the screen. But as of 2022, we are recognized as an entity by the Virginia's Trauma Informed Community Networks. That is a group that is made up of the TICIN. So TICIN is the abbreviation for Trauma Informed Care Network. They meet every month and are led by SCAN out of Richmond. But I just want to let you all know that we are now officially listed on this Virginia TICIN list as of a few months ago. Unfortunately, we need to change some things about it because it lists me and my email as the lead of the TICIN, when in fact it needs a leadership team. And it only mentions Mecklenburg County. So it was a mistake made, but the happy thing is that we got on the list. We got on the list. And so we don't currently have a name. There is a Southside TICIN, but that obviously has been in existence for many, many years, and that's in the Petersburg district. So we can't obviously borrow their name. So a couple of things that moving forward in 2023 that needs to happen is the creation of a name, some bylaws and missions, and then of course, reaching out to the folks who did attend the in-person TICIN meetings that we had earlier this year. So that's some great news and something to consider that we need as a coalition to talk about our role in the Trauma-Informed Care Network. And then I wanted to add on that I was contacted by the new Mecklenburg County High School leadership team through their guidance office. And we have been invited when they start having meetings in person to talk about the trauma-informed care approach. So we do have one local school system who recently, in recent days, reached out to invite us to participate in their conversations. I'll be sharing that with the membership as we move forward, because certainly when the guidance director from Mecklenburg County's new high school called me and said that they were going to be having these meetings, did we want to be a part of that discussion without asking permission from the leadership team, which I apologize for. I did say absolutely want to be part of that discussion. Another item is that, and again, I'm borrowing from Southside. Another item is that folks are back to having in-person events. They're back to having health and wellness fairs. Stephen mentioned earlier before we started the meeting about addressing again what we were planning to do in 2020 was having an opioid summit, bringing information, bringing resources together to talk about how substance abuse specifically related to opioids is impacting our community. So I would suggest as part of today's meeting that we begin conversations about what types of events we want to become involved in and what types of events do we want to put together as a coalition. And I brought a copy for those in person just to advertise that Petersburg is having a health and wellness fair actually this weekend. So those again are things we're thinking of as we move towards the spring months. All right, something also that I wanted to add to the agenda is that 988, our suicide prevention hotline number, now officially as of July, has changed now to simply 988. I have been in the process of contacting SAMHSA, holding up one colored copy of what I have received so far. We've ordered free materials so that we can start sending out these items to the community, have them available at all of our various events. We're going to be using some funding to purchase wallet-sized cards, magnets, tablets of paper, anything that advertises to folks that as of July of this year, you no longer have to call that long 8-digit number. You simply have to dial 988 to get suicide prevention crisis worker to help you through your feelings and concerns that you have. Okay, any questions so far about anything that we've talked about? take a pause. Anybody want to? Okay, and then what's the next?
Is there a scheduled meeting again for this Ticken in Brunswick?
No, not currently. That's why I wanted to bring it up today.
Okay.
Because that is something that we do need to do, is look into developing a hybrid meeting for them, something that we think that would work. I know we did the 3 in-person meetings earlier this year, that we had different audiences, and certainly also talk about whether we want to do our ACEs training during those meetings and start doing that as part of our
We did
outreach.
one, but
Yeah,
I would suggest doing the same as we decided to do here. Get a meeting date that's going to work for the people that are going to be most involved at the start in that area, and run that the same thing every month, like we do the 3rd Thursdays.
okay.
Same time, same everything, so that there's no confusion ever when the meeting is. I think consistency is key in all things, especially when you're starting.
Okay.
Keenan, do you know anyone else on the Wellness Coalition team who's interested in being a part? I know I'm supposed to be following up on this and I haven't. So, I mean, and like any other leadership members who want to take part or would pull together with me to help get these meetings set up?
Mary Ann, I certainly don't mind being involved at the outset to cover anything you need covering. It's a little ways away for me to commit to it forever, but I certainly would not mind helping you in the startup phase.
Okay, thank you. And we are talking about hybrid meetings and pulling in
Right.
the other 2 counties as well, right? And we're thinking we'll
Right.
get a better. Okay.
Right. Do you guys want to throw out any possible, like, what would be a consistent monthly time? You don't have to pick a day, but would you rather do, like, we could do a hybrid, like the hour after coalition? We could do it on the same day. We could do it on a Wednesday. I mean, it's up to me. Fridays aren't typically popular for people, I can tell you, in hybrid meetings. Mondays, I've been on a number of meetings on any other day of the week. For some reason, Friday doesn't seem to be the best for people.
Yeah, Friday doesn't work well with my work schedules. I would say this time of day for me would work better. I typically have a lot of late afternoon meetings, so mornings.
Yeah, I've heard that from folks too when it comes to hybrid. Okay, so Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll sort of send something out to everybody and get a consensus. Like a Tuesday, Wednesday, 10 to 11.
Do
or
you
10 to
have
12.
that list of contacts? I think I lost a lot when I changed jobs and lost my email.
I'll send it to you.
All right, I'll get moving on it.
All right, so Mary has volunteered to help us lead that charge. Thank you, Mary. And Stephen's gonna back her up.
Okay.
All right, and the rest of you obviously are welcome to join these efforts by all means, because we are on the map. We are on the map and we have funding to support it. And that was a big leap for us to get the Virginia Ticken people to recognize that we were an entity in this area. That's really, really important. So we did that great work in the last 9 months, but we've got to push forward now.
Is this network only for the counties that Southside CSB or Southside Behavioral supports, or could we bring in Surrey or something else close to the area?
I'll be honest with you, it's my understanding that every part of Virginia, so first of all, yes, in terms of this Ticken funding that we have, it's only for Halifax, Mecklenburg, and Brunswick. Now,
Okay.
to the left of us, on the other side of Brunswick is Southside Ticken. On the other side of Halifax is what's the name of it? West Piedmont Trauma and Resiliency Network is on the other side of Halifax. Now, I will say that, and I think when you say Surrey, I thought I could be wrong, that Surrey is in the Southside Ticken area. But I know that, from my understanding, there's not a tick-in towards Farmville. So when you cross over into Charlotte County or Buckingham County, Charlotte Courthouse, that is all no tick-in development. Now, I know there's been discussions that if our tick-in could build up enough in the coming years in our 3-county area, that we could expand toward Farmville, mainly because that demographics of those counties match our demographics in some respects, more than so moving towards Petersburg or Danville, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But my understanding is it's those 7 counties and our 3, that's the only area in Virginia right now that's not covered by a ticket. So I'll send you the contact information for this document I have right here, and you can reach out if you want and ask about which one's covered by Surrey. I believe it is, but that may be just my understanding.
Awesome. Thank you.
Send you the whole list. It's really nice and comprehensive, and I'm so glad we're on it. I was so excited last month that they're like, Keenan, did you know you guys are on the ticket list? I was like, yay. So Stephen briefly mentioned, I'm just going to mention for a few seconds that yes, we still currently have an open position here at Southside Behavioral Health. With me, I'm a team of 1. We'd love to make it a team of 2 again. Looking for someone who can come on board again to help us expand our prevention outreach, as well as support the Southside Wellness Coalition and the tick-in. So if you know of anybody, please let me know. I can send you the link. But really, it's just tell people to go to southsidebehavioralhealth.org/careers, link up. The prevention post is listed there. Click on it and tell them please apply. It's a great opportunity if you know someone who is good at public speaking, a young person who enjoys meeting new people, enjoys and doesn't get no for an answer when they travel in the community, enjoys talking to local folks. Just to give you a little tidbit, one of the tasks that we do have to complete through the course of a year is we have to go out and take retail or merchant materials about not selling to those under 21 to all the 26 the 164 currently right now, as of last week, as it changes all the time, 164 tobacco retailers in our 3-county area, and walk in and look around at how they're selling their products, and then have a very friendly conversation with them about their advertising and ask them some various questions. It's not an investigation. It's not any kind of infraction type of thing. You're not the investigator. That's done by another entity. We're just coming to have the friendly conversation about reminding them not to sell to those under 21 and doing what we call an environmental scan. Is there anything unusual that this particular retailer is doing that we might be concerned about as preventionists? Because, again, we're trying to prevent young people from using substances, become addicted to nicotine. So that's just part of what this person joining me would be doing with me. So if you know someone that would love to do that and become a part of spreading that word, please let them know about the job. All right. And then again, I go back to social media. During COVID, we had to focus on what we could get out in front of people since we couldn't be in person. And one of our major accomplishments was our membership campaign. A lot of our members and our leadership team members agreed to be recorded via Zoom talking about the Southside Wellness Coalition. So when you go back to the Facebook, and if you haven't already followed Southside Wellness Coalition, you'll see this week that Kathy Tuthill, one of our members from the Rivermont School at Chase City, has her recording of how she enjoys being part of the coalition and why she is involved in the Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition in our area. Please go on and look on there. And then, of course, in past months, we've had many of our other members, Ann Bishop, our current chair, along with some other members who have been recorded and given our permission to put it out on social media. We continue, of course, as part of that, to advertise that people can travel to our website and sign up and become members. And sign up for our different parts of membership. And there's 2 ways to be a member in the coalition. First of all, it doesn't cost anything, but the 2 different memberships are that you want to be a member who is involved in the daily activities, the meetings, the planning of events. And then also there's the membership where you are just a partner in the community, meaning that you can't necessarily assign a person from your group, your church or your school or your agency, but that you're willing to support us and say that what we do is good work. And that way we could feature your information on our website. And just a couple of things about that. Liz Cunningham from Legal Aid during COVID, she was one of the members who constantly would send me information and flyers about her event. As part of membership, we then share that information out on our social media. So those that follow would get information about organizations. So as part of membership, you have the ability to impact where we go, where we travel to provide prevention trainings. In addition to that, we can share information from your organization out on our social media at no cost to share and let people know what's been going on in your communities. So as you go on the Southside Wellness Coalition page and you see various advertisements for other community events, that's because someone is a member of our coalition. They are part of that event. We might not be a direct partner, but we are supporting it by promoting it on our social media. So again, on Instagram and Facebook, you can find all that stuff. All right. CADCA. All right. So with that being said, with October, November, and December comes with some really huge decisions that are made each year by our team. You see on the agenda that in December, as we revised our bylaws during COVID, we no longer re-elect the entire leadership team every year. That doesn't benefit a nonprofit organization. We only re-elect 2 to 3 members of the leadership team every year. And so during COVID, again, lots of work done by our leadership team and other members to rewrite and update and make more manageable our bylaws. We will be having nominations in December, and I will be doing this during the December meeting, as well as via email and on social media to reach out to membership and ask them to nominate folks to be part of the leadership team. And then the January hybrid meeting, we will certainly have an election, and I will send a great deal of information by email on social media about the available spots on the leadership team over the course of the next 2 months. Now, with that being said, let me bring up on my screen one of the requirements of changing over leadership team is the attendance by our team at and you all can hopefully see my screen. If you cannot, please let me know. To the CADCA National Forum. CADCA is the national organization supported by Drug-Free Communities grant funds, where we are a member. We are a member of CADCA. It's a national organization that runs all the substance use prevention coalitions. Every year, we send folks to the in-person this year. It was in person last year, but the year prior to that, it was all online. This year it's in person. It starts on January 30th and ends on February 2nd, which of course is coming up very shortly, at the Gaylord National Hotel in National Harbor, Maryland. As coalition members, we'd like to send folks to this at minimum 2. Maximum we can discuss. I think last year, Stephen, we sent 5 people last year. And every year when we send a new membership team member, Stephen, can you talk about what a fabulous opportunity that is?
Sure. It doesn't really matter which of the 12 sectors you're representing. You're going to find something at CADCA that really appeals to you to learn about each day that you're there. Or not each day, some of the first and last day. It's a little bit less on their seminars and presentations, but during those blocks of times, there could be anywhere from 5 to 8 or 9 different presentations being held, and it's going to hold something that appeals to you. For me, when I attended 2 years ago virtually and last year in person. And I split my time between things that apply to the recovery community and things that apply to our coalition that I felt like we could pull off as a team in our area. In addition to that, there's networking possibilities that are just never ending when you're at this thing. It's well put together. You're staying in a very nice venue. It's and when I left, I felt really recharged to come back to the coalition and do some good work. So if you're interested, I would definitely say inquire a little more. And if you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them.
All right. And Mary, you attended last year as well. Would you mind saying a few words?
Sure. Yeah, this was my first time attending, and I was still relatively new to the coalition. And I was able to learn a lot. My primary interest has been in ACEs and trauma, but I was able to learn more about the substance abuse, and just going to the conference, it broadened my knowledge of everything that Southside Wellness is here to do, and what's out there and what other community organizations are doing. It was a great opportunity.
All righty, thank you. So again, I'll report in the minutes the link to the website I'm sharing right now. So we are looking for folks to volunteer to travel. Costs are covered, except obviously the conference is during the week. So in terms of your obligations to your employer, you would have to be excused from that. But we're looking for folks to volunteer for that. All right. So any questions about that? All right.
Is it me?
All right. I'm gonna stop sharing on that. All right. And then the final item on our agenda is to share that we continue our youth outreach. We are still looking for opportunities to support youth locally. One of our major accomplishments in the last year has been our collaboration with Southside Behavioral Health on the year 1 and year 2 of their grant supporting LGBTQ youth in our community. We are the team that worked on that, which included Liam and other folks in the community. We developed a PSA that will be going out on social media as early as mid-November in support of the young folks in our community. So you'll be looking for that on social media, hopefully prior to Christmas. And as part of that, we're developing items such as a window cling. The window cling is, when people put that inside of their windshield on the back of their cars, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's really super popular, and young people love those. We're developing a window cling with a logo. And so as part of the PSA, when it goes out on Facebook and Instagram, young folks will be able to click the link that will take them to a website link, a landing page, I'm learning, and they'll be able to fill out a Google form requesting items that go along with the PSA, which will be a window cling, so that adults as well as other youth can show that as a form of allyship. Liam, did you want to talk a little bit about that with the group, if you don't mind? I'm putting everybody on the spot today.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk. Did you want me to just mainly fill in on the PSA or more on the products, or what do you want me to speak on?
Whatever you'd like to share, because I just think it's so fantastic.
Okay, yeah, no, it's a great opportunity. I think the PSA, not to speak too much on what Keenan already said, but I think the 2-part series of having just allies from the community stand forward and really represent a community that often kind of gets looked over, especially in our region, is super powerful. I think it's going to be really incredible to also hear from the youth who are directly involved in the project and just everything that they have to say. And it's always so meaningful, I think, when you can really hear someone's firsthand experience. So yeah, I think the PSAs are going to be great. I'm really looking forward to them. And Lean In is just thrilled to be a part of this and just, help in any way we can. I can't wait to get all of the fun products so that we can get them distributed in the community and start letting people know we're here and what we're all about. So yeah, I think I'm just really excited to be a part of it. So thanks, Keenan, for making it happen.
All right, thank you, we're all working together. All right, so that gets me to the end of, let me try, and everything. No, it's not to the end. Okay, one thing else to mention is that.
That's over here.
What?
You got to point that. If you're
Did it
holding it
not
up
turn
for
to
him,
me?
if you're holding it up for him, you want to hold it toward the.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, there you go, there you go.
Okay.
In the last year, as we have been expanding the coalition, tick-in, and of course, prevention outreach, we also were given funding to look to see if we needed marijuana prevention and problem gaming, gambling and problem gaming prevention in our area. So we did participate in, and I have to thank in the minutes as well as here now, many of the folks associated with the coalition certainly stepped forward and volunteered. So we used our funds to hire a VCU's Department of VCU's research collaborative team. So some young professionals from VCU college or university conducted a gambling and gaming report for us. Part of it was our team going out and visiting various places that sponsor gaming. In our area, that would be bingo halls, places that sold lottery tickets. So part of that was going out and visiting these retailers. And again, as I mentioned, like with tobacco retailers, recording what's going on and also looking to see if there's any information being shared about getting help if you felt you had a gambling addiction. And then also part of that, folks from our area volunteered to be interviewed virtually by VCU, asking about their feelings and attitudes and their perceptions of the community about gambling and gaming in our community. And we did that over the last 6 months, participated in that environmental scan, those key source interviews, and we were sent the results. And I'll forward that as part of the minutes, so you know what I'm talking about. Send you a copy of the report that came back from the state of Virginia. You'll see Southside Behavioral Health listed. Certainly coalition members participated in all that study and give you the information about what's been happening in our area. In addition to that, we also participated in a marijuana prevention, again, key interviews, as well as environmental scans. Again, we went out in the community looking for any signs of folks advertising marijuana, providing anything like that. And then again, conducting key interviews of folks in the community, again, their feelings, their attitudes, their perceptions by the community, what they felt was happening in our community as it relates to the misuse of marijuana. And so that report then has come out and we participated in that. And what that does is sets us up. Once we participate in these studies, it sets us up for the ability to ask for funding to help with developing prevention-based programs that support notifying people about the dangers or the concerns we have around marijuana use and gambling and gaming. Now, as part of that then, so as a region, again, virtually, we did participate in 2 commercials, online video streaming. So you might see them on your regular TV. Of course, obviously, in our catchment area, we don't have a specific TV station. So most of this happened during the college basketball games. If you want a copy, let me know. I can send you all the different breakdowns of where demographically our commercial went during the last 6 to 8 months. We did a marijuana prevention commercial, as well as a gambling, gaming awareness commercial. And what it did was it shared the resources at the state level, information, phone numbers people could call. And I can't tell you how excited I get, because I don't watch a whole lot of TV. But if I happen to be, I was on the porch one afternoon and all of a sudden I heard this music and I turned and I jumped up and I was like, there's our commercial. Because I don't typically watch college basketball. And when I questioned the lady who runs our media campaigns, we have to obviously target the demographics of our area and set the commercial up such as that. So if you've seen it, that was us. We're out there again, video streaming and carrying on information. So some good information to share. Things that have been happening, haven't been happening a lot in person, but we've done a tremendous amount of work as a coalition in the last year and a half, online, virtually, and with our video streaming commercials. All right, so, all right, questions, open the floor, announcements from other folks.
Quiet group this morning.
Yes.
What'd you guys say?
It's quiet group this morning.
They are.
They're just angry because there's no cake for them.
And don't bring up that y'all getting
Yeah,
coffee and stuff and
Yeah,
cake.
That's
That's
the
no.
lemon cake back there that Keenan always makes.
Oh.
They're not getting it, so
That's
they're
what it
angry.
So lots and lots of good work happening, but lots of good work to be done, though. All right, any questions, comments?
Actually, I wanted to say hi to Brenna. I don't think I've seen Brenna since our CADCA mini academy days up in Stanton. So hello.
Hi, I was thinking earlier, we were talking about CADCA. Like CADCA is amazing with everything they do. They definitely, if you haven't gone, make a priority to try and go.
Great, agree. It gives you such an in-depth experience of what it means to be involved in Substance Abuse Coalition that I just could never explain. No matter how many times I talk about how important this work is, CADCA will give you that experience.
It gives you so many really good ideas, seeing what other communities are doing to help prevent substance use in their area. So just seeing different perspectives in these really creative ways other communities are approaching is always really interesting to me.
Yes, I have a lot of those, why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing this moments? Yes. And then you meet folks that are doing it. They're doing it. Awesome. All right, any other comments or announcements? We're at reaching the hour, and I know you all have important work to do. I know this is important work too, but I know you do have other good works going on. All right, if there are no other comments and questions, I'll go ahead and note that our meeting ended at 10:56 and end the recording. This recording and of course hard copy minutes will be developed in the course of the next week and then be posted online to our website as well as sent out to membership. If you attended today and you're not on my already listserv, I'll be adding your name and email, as well as adding you to the newsletter. If you so choose not to want to follow the newsletter, when you see the first copy, it does have an unsubscribe button at the top. But I know you guys are all subscribing, so I just want to say that. I gotta always say what I'm supposed to say, but I know you guys are all right. And if you think of anything after today that you want me to add to the next agenda as we move forward, please reach out and let me know. As you can see by today, we have been struggling since we've had the summertime break and now back to hybrid meetings, struggling to get folks in person, virtually. It's my goal by the end of 2023, we're going to be back to where we were pre-COVID. We're not going to have enough chairs in the room as we did many times. I know. So we're working on it. Please join our efforts. Anything that you want us to do, discuss, develop, do a project, we're here for each other. We will make it happen. All right. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day. Thank you.
I'm waving at my laptop. It should be over here.
Tiffany, do you have a
I do,
card
that's
with your
not
new
the
position?
recording, yes.
I'd love to get to talk to you again.
I'll give you a
You said how many locations now?
So my role now, I'll give you a few